Hi soul family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we have a couple channel messages to get into today. However, I just feel like the overall message that I've been sitting with the collective's energy, and the overall message is just to not be so hard on yourself right now. Things may seem very confusing, or like nothing's happening, or like you're just in this waiting period. And I feel like it's just for you to trust yourself more, because as I was like getting set up with the decks and whatnot, at the bottom of the deck it said trust yourself more. Know that you are in the right place at the right time. Opportunities will present themselves to you when they're meant to, all in divine timing. Get excited about your future instead of fearing it. So I feel like you guys, you are very used to sitting, like when things come to you unexpectedly, or if things get too quiet, you're used to sitting in that energy of fear, and that's all your trauma, right? But Spirit wants you to really just rest in that unknown energy, to just sit back and just allow your angels to do what they're doing, because they're doing a lot behind the scenes is what I'm hearing. And two tarot cards popped out. It was the Moon and the Four of Wands. And I just kind of get this energy where it's just like things are just very foggy for you right now. You can't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. You can't really see your victory. But it's just like you're being called to trust, surrender, and wait. And if you guys feel the need to rest, take rest, because, you know, sometimes we feel like we have to always do. But sometimes your guys just want you to chill, to really just chill, because a lot of you guys have you've purged a lot, you've released a lot. As well as like if you are letting go of the old version of you. A message that I got for the collective was to not try to do too much all at once, to take it one step at a time. Okay. You're used to just running head first into everything, and that might cause suffering. That might make you feel like, oh my god, a lot's changing. You might feel overwhelmed. That's coming up. So let's get into the channeled messages, guys. So some signs that this message might be for you. So some of you guys might be asking Spirit for a new car. That's coming up. To trust, Spirit got you. Glass breaking as well. That's an indication that your reality is shifting, if any of you guys have been breaking glass recently. I saw owls and Dalmatian dogs as well. So it said, Spirit is so proud of you. Can you take a moment to acknowledge your growth and sit with that energy? You are enough. Stop trying to prove yourself to the universe. They already love you unconditionally and see you. Your growth isn't to prove that you are worthy of your desires, but to see that you have always been enough just as you are. So I feel like from that message, Spirit's just saying, like, you guys don't stop to take a moment to really celebrate how much work you've put in. Okay, you're always on to the next. But Spirit wants you to really pause, reflect on how far you've come. The old version of you, yes, you're shedding another layer of yourself, but think about the old version of you before you even started your spiritual journey. Can you take a moment to celebrate that, your growth? You're gonna always feel like nothing's happening in your life if you don't stop to celebrate your wins. So that's coming up. So Spirit's saying, allow yourself to be seen. Some of you guys might be running from like the spotlight right now. And Spirit's just saying, allow yourself to be seen, and don't worry about how you're perceived. Just show up. Another message. Sometimes as we purge fear, love can feel so scary. You will not die for choosing love. Fear will try and convince you that you will, because your ego is trying to protect you in the best way it knows how. You've been hurt before, yes, but where Spirit is leading you is a reality where divine love wins, where your past doesn't dictate your future. I'm not saying that there won't be challenges, but you are letting go of normalizing pain and suffering. So Spirit wants you to get out of the mentality that, you know, bad things always happen to me. I'm always going to have to deal with challenges. It's the stories that you tell yourself that keep replaying the same stories over and over and over again. So Spirit wants you to expect good things. The law of assumption is coming up. So really just expect good things to happen to you. A lot of times when we're purging fear, it does feel like the world is ending. It feels like, oh my God, like I'm not used to this. Or it's like when you get a good thing, but you're just like, oh my God, like it challenges the beliefs that you have within yourself. So Spirit's saying to really look at the fears that are coming up and sit with them. Rewrite those stories. Spirit wants you to honor your anger at this time. You can't control your emotions, but you can control how you express it. But first, there needs to be an acceptance. That part of you is looking for your acceptance, not your judgment. Try having a conversation with that side of you. Approach it with curiosity and love. Don't label it, just listen. So I feel like some of you guys might be running from the rage that you feel right now. But I feel like the rage that you feel is really just like all that's happened to you that you believed to be true about yourself that's no longer true. So it's like, you thought it was true at one point, but it really wasn't true to begin with in general. It's just what happened to you trauma-wise that made you believe those stories. So that version of you that felt powerless, that's where the anger is coming from. And for some of you guys, you could be angry and frustrated in your reality right now because you're shifting. Your vibration is a lot different than the reality that you're currently in, so it feels uncomfortable. So just know that you are shifting, you're elevating, and the reason why it's so uncomfortable is because sometimes spirit will make our environment so uncomfortable so that we don't want to stay in it. So we have to make a change because we're just like, you know, I can't continue down this path. It is just too much. Whenever we make the biggest changes in our life is when we've just had enough. We've hit that rock bottom, we hit that roadblock, and we're just like, you know what? Yeah, no. So if you're feeling frustrated in your reality, that could be a reason as well. But spirit doesn't want you to try and control that emotion. They want you to just be present with it, accept it, and just lean in with it. Lean in with it, be curious, and love on it. So cracking sounds behind your head is a sign that your psychic abilities are increasing. So I also put, I'm not a doctor, so, you know, do with that what you will, listen responsibly. But if you're experiencing that, spirit wants you to know that your psychic abilities are increasing. You know, a lot of times, so even in this fog that you're feeling, a lot of times when we're in that state of confusion and surrender is when spirit can make the biggest moves in our lives. So whenever you know, the less you know, the better it is. So I think about even a time where like I was like dealing with this energy vampire and I had no clue what was going on. You know, I really thought like, I was like, maybe spirit's abandoning me, what's going on, you know? But after coming out of that time, I realized that it was for my own personal growth. I had to let go of a wound that I had within myself that I didn't even know about. And to also realize how I was choosing to engage in drama, right? How I allowed people to siphon off my energy by having that deep wound, right? So spirit needed me to heal that wound so that when they put me out further, I wouldn't just be feeding into everybody's reality, sending my energy there. But if I had known everything that was going on, I wouldn't have learned the lesson. So I feel like whatever you're dealing with right now, you have to find a way to be at peace within not knowing, right? And that also comes with us calming our nervous system. Okay, a lot of times we can say, okay, I want peace, but your mind isn't at peace. So listening to frequencies to help your nervous system, I have a playlist down below for the collective that I made, and it really does help, guys, because we're not going to always know everything. A lot of the journey is just one step at a time being revealed, and it's not always helpful for us to know what is ahead of us. Some of you guys might be frustrated as well, again, that's coming up because you're not doing the things that you know you need to see the growth. So, you are attached to instant gratification, and that keeps you focused on the goal instead of the journey. It's not about the goal, it's about the consistency. So whatever energy you're putting out there, spirit wants you to really take a step back and just ask yourself, am I doing what's productive towards like what I want to see grow? Like, for example, if you want to grow your YouTube channel, are you putting in are you putting effort into your craft, or are you worrying about how other people are going to perceive it? So you're just like, why even bother trying? So spirit wants you to get focus on where your energy is going and where do you want to see growth. So wherever, what is it, attention goes where energy goes where attention flows, or something like energy flows where attention goes, or some shit like that. Don't quote me on it, y'all. It's a day. Things have been foggy for me too, okay? Yeah. So spirit just wants you to really just get focused on what habits need to change. So you guys are very goal oriented, and spirit's saying that goals are nice to have, but it's more about who you want to be. Who do you want to become? So this new version of you, that you've killed the old version of you, right? She's dead. Gone. This new version of you, who do you want to be? What do you stand for? Okay? And if you have a goal of losing 40 pounds, for example, instead of saying that I have a goal of 40 pounds, say I'm a person that is healthy. I'm a person that loves to move their body. And the reason why I say this identity shift is more important is because once you hit the 40 pounds, if you don't shift your identity, you're going to go right back to where you were before. The old habits that made you gain the weight in the first place is going to come back because you're not seeing it as the new version of you. You're seeing it as a temporary goal to reach. So Spirit wants you to sit there and just really focus on what it is that you want to see grow and how can you shift your identity to be in alignment with it. I hope that makes sense. So Spirit wants you to know the difference between when you want to do something and when you feel like you have to do something, right? How does the energy feel different? That's how you can tell the difference between what is in alignment. So some of you guys might be having a hard time trusting yourself. So Spirit's saying to really ask yourself questions as if you were asking yourself, as if you were talking to a child. So if you're doing something, for example, you I don't know, somebody asked you to mow the lawn, but you really don't want to mow the lawn. When you're doing it, does it feel like you're dragging your foot along? Does it feel like, oh my God, like, why did they have to ask me to do that? it's just, you should feel good when you're doing the things that you love. So Spirit's saying that to listen to your heart in that way. You can take a second to tune into your heart by taking a deep breath. Take a moment to connect to your heart and ask yourself yes or no questions. But I feel like, you know, if you have a really hard time trusting yourself, it's going to take practice. So really just be kind and patient with yourself as well. So Spirit wants you to start to ask yourself the right questions. How did this situation help me / benefit me? How can I leave the situation feeling empowered? What did I gain from this experience? So it was 11:11 on the clock as I saw that. So I feel like some of you guys may be still having a foot in the past because you're still wondering why something happened. And you're still holding on to that resentment from that person, right? And I feel like Spirit wants you to really just sit and see the situation from an empowered state. Can you practice seeing it from a different perspective? So Spirit wants you to sit there and ask yourself, how did this situation benefit me? How can I leave this situation feeling more empowered? So when you are walking through this new gateway, what did you gain from that experience? So journaling questions for you guys to ask yourself, you know, about this, because, you know, a lot of times things happen to us and it sucks ass. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and say it doesn't suck ass, but I don't want you to leave a situation feeling powerless. You know, there's always something to gain from that. Oh, y'all, I thought something was coming crashing down in my room. What the hell? That scared me a little bit. So Spirit wants me to make a releasing ritual video for you guys, how I release different energies from my life, or I also use it to release the old version of myself as well. But I'm gonna do like a small little ritual so you guys can see how I like burn and release what's no longer serving me. I don't know if I'm gonna post it the same time I post this or a different day. But yeah, that's coming out. That'll be out shortly. Let's talk about your self-image. How you see yourself is what will make the difference about whether or not whatever changes you make or whatever habits you make will stick. For example, if I'm trying to have a more calm life, but I see myself as easily irritated or angry, I will have to affirm something different. Like, I am a calm and patient person. It's not enough to just say this to say this. You would have to take aligned action, right? So working through my triggers and start to choose to respond differently. Self-awareness and patience with self is key for this. So whenever we start to affirm different things, it's not enough to just affirm different things. We have to do the shadow work. When you work through your triggers, that same trigger cannot trigger you again. So you have to really sit with your inner child and ask yourself, why am I triggered? Why is this person triggering me right now so hard? And then choose to respond differently. It's going to be hard. It's going to take a lot of trial and error. Because as somebody who's coming from being easily irritated, it take a lot of deep breaths. It take a lot of crying, purging. So Spirit just wants you to be, I feel like Spirit just wants you to take it one step at a time, because it's not going to be like you're going to completely get rid of the version of you that once existed. You know, this is going to take steps. A lot of shadow work. You know, yes, you can make major changes. Like, you'll go through those periods when you make major changes, but expecting all of you to just fully be evaporated is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And it's like, it's one of those things where we aim so high, and then when we miss, we feel like we're not good enough, or we start to like treat ourselves like, oh my god, like I thought I was changing and then I slept back. But it's like, in those moments, all you need is love and compassion. You are aware that you slip back. Now you can make a different choice. Now you can talk to yourself through it. But guilt and shame, like using that as a way to change, is not going to work. It's not going to work. And Bessie, I got to be honest with you, it's not going to work. It isn't. I've tried. It don't work, okay? Only love wins. Love that. So Spirit wanted to say, if you keep looking at your manifestations as something in the future, then you will never seize the day. You will continue to push it off to the future. What you do now creates that future, so there is no time like the present. So I feel like what Spirit is saying about that is, stop looking at your manifestations as something far out. Okay, it's way more than that. Okay, it's to create the future, you have to do you have to take aligned action in the present moment. So what habits can you implement in your life now that can set you up for the future that you want to be aligned with? And I feel like when I say habits, I don't mean, guys, adding 10, 20 new habits to your list, because that is only going to lead to burnout or frustration. Start small, one habit at a time. Okay, for my overachievers. Yeah, but this is a new journey. I feel like Spirit wants you to know this is a new journey for you. Any other messages for the collective, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? Anything else? Anything else? Okay. I feel like Spirit wants you to put channels, for some of you guys who are artists, channel your emotions into your art that's coming up. I feel like you guys want to change. You do. You really do. But there's this energy in your mind that makes you feel like either the change is impossible for you, or like whatever you experienced in the past is going to happen to you again. And Spirit's saying that it's time for you to really journal about how you feel, to really talk yourself out of recreating the same story over and over and over again, because you've learned the lesson. You've experienced it in a very intense way. For this collective that I'm speaking to, you just went through an intense spiritual warfare. Okay. You will not be going through that again. I don't know who needs to hear that, but you will not be going through that again. You have to trust yourself. Okay. You know better now, and this person came into your life to show you. I just feel like how certain people can wear masks. So what I'm getting is, like, when you meet someone and they may be too agreeable, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. You and I have two different opinions. You're not going to agree with me. I'm not going to agree with you. Now, I'm not going to say there's certain things that we won't agree on, but all the damn time? No. Why does this person need to gain your approval so fast? So I feel like what came out of this was that you needed to learn to not just jump into situations, but to get to know people, to build that level of trust with someone. Okay, instead of just spilling out your deepest, darkest secrets to just anyone who would listen. I feel like you had to become your own best friend, was what this whole situation taught you. You spill your guts with Spirit. You spill your guts in that journal. Okay, I'm not saying that you can't share with other people, but you need to get to know them first. You can't just be sharing with any and everybody, because not everybody has good intentions towards you. You know, some of you guys have to really let go of that naive way of thinking. And I know this may sound harsh, but this is coming from someone who used to be very naive. Okay, it's very important that you vet people, that you get to know people. Okay, because people will see that light in you, and they will want to, like, dim it, because maybe they feel insecure standing around you. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's get some Spirit messages for you guys. All right, Spirit, what do you want to say to the collective? Any messages for the collective, Spirit? 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 Oh my God, that almost landed on the candle, y'all. That would have been so bad. Okay, let's see. Be true to yourself in all ways. Not everyone will get you. They can only understand from their level of perception. That's on them. No matter what people say, don't ever doubt your worth or the beauty you hold within. Stand tall in your power. I feel like I need to say, yo, what people do to us, it sucks ass. It does. It does. I will never sit here and tell you that, oh my God, just vibe high, you know, because it sucks ass. However, you know, a way that we can leave a situation feeling more empowered is when we look at what did they come to teach us? What did they come to teach us? How can I not repeat this pattern again? So when you learn the lesson, you can't repeat the pattern again, because you'll see it coming from a mile away. There's so many other people who are exactly like the people we've experienced. However, when you elevate your vibration and you become so very aware, your third eye is open, you'll see right through the bullshit. The only reason why we accepted those other lies before is because they made us feel comfortable in some type of way. You know, maybe this person came in and they filled a void that we needed. You know, but when you feel that void within, like, say for example, you know, you were lonely and you wanted a best friend so bad, and someone came into your life and they pretended to be like this amazing person. From that experience, you learned, okay, one, I overshared too much. I didn't have any boundaries. Okay, then you become your own best friend. When other people come into your life and they're not up to par, they get the boot. Okay, because you're not in a state of loneliness. You're not in a state of, you know, feeling lesser than or low vibrational. That person cannot meet you on the new frequency that you are at, because you are now more self-aware. I hope that makes sense, y'all. But yeah, I try to explain it in the best way I could. But overall, I just feel like I need to say you are not powerless. Okay, these are the stories that we tell ourselves, but it's not true. Okay, you're a very powerful being. Okay, make it your mission to accept all parts of you, the good and what you perceive to be your imperfections. Don't look for any outside validation. It's already within you. Once you realize your true beauty and potential, you will never doubt yourself again. So what's coming through on this is, like, some of you guys may have looked for validation from other people to validate the trauma that you've been through, because you don't take your own trauma seriously. Maybe you tell yourself, okay, what happened to me wasn't that bad, because you don't see any physical scars. This is for my people who experience emotional abuse, right? But just because those scars are not physical doesn't mean that they're not stored in your body. And what you've been through was a lot. Okay, me and you would not be having this conversation if it wasn't a lot. You would not be experiencing fear, trauma, all these different PTSD. Your nervous system would not be out of whack if your trauma wasn't serious. So it's time for you to start taking yourself seriously. The minute you accept that what you actually been through was hard, 111 as I look up, then you could actually start to make the changes. But if you keep telling yourself, oh, you know, it wasn't that serious, you're going to keep looking for that validation outside of you. For other people to say, hey, you know, what you've been through was a lot. And this is for my people who suffered from narcissistic abuse. It's very, you grow up not trusting yourself. Not feeling like, oh, you know, what I've been through really wasn't that serious because no one around me was like validating it. But it's time for you to validate yourself. With a narcissist, they will always be right. Okay? I don't know who needed to hear that, but yeah. Instead of pushing yourself so hard, stop, breathe, and reevaluate. I was going to say rejuvenate. So some of you guys really need to like maybe soak. Take some time to self-care right now. Breathe and reevaluate. You are doing enough, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. Love that. Excuse me, confirmation burp. It's time to hit the reset button. Clear out the old so that room is available for the new to enter. Why was that so hard to say? Maybe you guys are resisting this this new energy coming into you. But Spirit's saying don't fight it. Just let it go. Let it come in. Trust that better things are coming fast. Prepare to move to the next phase of your life. This is your rebirth. Welcome this beautiful brand new energy. You've got this. So I feel like this rebirth is coming for you guys whether you like it or not. And I feel like it's going to be very good for you. I feel like whatever you prayed for, you're getting more than that. Okay? And know that you deserve it. Any other messages? Actually, let me knock on this. Any other messages, Spirit, for this collective? Any messages for this collective, Spirit? Anything else? Return to the body. Releasing anger. So I made an anger playlist for you guys as well. It'll be down below. Anger is a natural emotion, but I recognize that holding on to it can be toxic for me. I look at the person who has caused me pain and see them as the human being they are. I release the anger I feel and I free myself, freeing myself and expanding to love. So one thing I want to say about anger, y'all, I'm not gonna say like what you've been through was something not serious. Okay, it was very serious, and whoever did you dirty, that is why you're angry. I completely understand. However, I've watched angry people manifest all types of illness in their body. It's not good for you. Okay, so at the end of the day, when Spirit asks you to release the anger, it is for you. It is for you. And for me, y'all, I had to listen to subliminals to really reprogram my mind to let go of that anger, because I was somebody who held a grudge from the what you did me dirty in the 6th grade. However, it wasn't healthy for me, you know. I couldn't make any real relationships because I was always so angry at people, you know what I mean? Y'all, it's not good for your body. You don't get that restful energy, and it's like, you know, you keep expecting other people to do you like this, do you like that, and you keep manifesting over and over and over again, you know. And this is for your own body, your own health, your own actual health, okay? And that person they be living their lives looking for the next victim. So you holding on to the anger, it doesn't do anything to them. I wish it did, but it didn't. It doesn't. It really doesn't. They be living their lives. They be moving on to their next victim. While you're still stuck in that timeline where everything happened to you, because you keep replaying it over and over and over again in your head, and your mind doesn't know the difference between the past, present, and the future. So that's how you know we're living in the past, and we can't let go of certain things that has happened to us. So before you can move forward in anything, you have to really just like sit with your feelings, purge, release. Return to the body. When I'm caught up in a stressful moment, I can move my awareness to my body. Is my jaw clenched? My body tense? How is my posture? This helps me see where I can relax and let go of tension. Now I can return to any situation more calm and present. So I feel like off of that alone, I'm really just hearing you guys need to listen to frequencies to calm your nervous system. A lot of times we be thinking that living in this high stressful like state is normal, especially if you live in the US. Y'all, it's not. It's really not. But yeah. So those are my spiritual messages for you guys. Like, I don't know. I feel like things are going to shift for you very quickly and unexpectedly. But right now you're just in a period of wait, calm. Because there's still things that you need to release from your body. So I hope today's message was helpful in whatever way possible. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for watching today. Bye-bye.